Oh my god, this is the weirdest. Why is video unavailable? Hello? Anyone? Oh, okay, cool. Now I'm live. I wasn't for some reason. I don't know. This YouTube is weird. This is much more confusing to me than I thought it was going to be. I'm gonna need to have like do some training classes or some shit. Because right now it makes literally no sense. I had to change stream key every time I've streamed, but also to go live, I have to hit the go live button from that new page. Just let me hit start streaming here, and then put me streaming. uh, uh, Maybe it's just me. Is that why it's having such an issue with the Streamlab stuff? Who knows? Look at these people. They're going crazy. Can I ask, why is it that everybody thinks it's going to be Dante? I don't want it to be Dante. If it's Dante, I might be a little upset. Just a little bit. Mostly because it's just another game that I have give no fucks about. I'm gonna eat a burrito. Woo! Woo! Oh, shit, that's right. I need to... Oh, excuse me. Oh, the things have been pressed. Am I quiet or is this down? This is down. Boop. My food. Too far. Morning. Oh shit. Ooh.
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai, director of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited. We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter. Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide. The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy, which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast. So, it won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time. I think even many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, "Wow, really?"
It's Waluigi.
So, let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information.
Morning, Lou. Oh, I understand morning. Whatever.
However, even if you say,
Oh, it's
"That's
me."
not the character I was picturing," I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We've prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
Again, if it's Dante, I'm only a little upset.
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
And
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be. Are you prepared to die?
back.
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. You must join Smash.
So this is another
Join Smash
Fire
Brothers
Emblem
already!
guy?
What in the world are you waiting for?
I think it's a
So joining
Smash.
Smash consumes even the darkness itself!
Is there now 30 Fire Emblem characters, I believe? I think this is a Fire Emblem character. I'm like 90% sure.
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Be a girl instead.
So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
So
How is this? Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics. With Arid Fire, strike with superior reach. Use Amir's overwhelming power.
here.
Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught. Along with the Sword of the Creator, each weapon matches a direction. Your will and mine be now as one! To you, both sides of time are revealed! Through Smash, show the world!
Another Fire Emblem character. Yay.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be
We have to
available
wait.
for purchase individually.
I thought it was going to be like a couple of months or a month.
In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry.
Well,
First off, what is Fire Emblem? It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle.
just like disappointment.
When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character.
So here's the thing.
Sort of
This
like
is
in
supposed to be
role-playing
like half an hour long, right?
Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die. That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really,
about
if a
half an
character
hour,
fell in battle, you
35
lose
minutes
that
all it
unit.
says.
They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again.
So the reveal happened.
Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you. But a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios. Several characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special.
That's right. 6 of the
There's
7
actually a
Fire
reason
Emblem
for this.
characters.
When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn. And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series.
There have been 17 Fire Emblem
People who
games?
aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many?
I've tried
Well,
one,
if you
and
include
I
Fire
hated
Emblem
it.
Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge. I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、烈火の剣、聖魔の功績、草原の奇跡、暁の女神、新暗黒竜新紋章、覚醒イフヒーローズエコーズ風化雪月。
There you go, 17.
今変な数え方してます。
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right?
Yeah.
I was counting in binary.
What?
つまりこれが全部
This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16.
I'm learning.
Add 1 and you get 17.
Confusingly, but what the
Awesome,
fuck?
isn't it? You can actually count up to 31 on one
This is
hand.
supposed to be about Smash Brothers, and he's just teaching us how to count in
And if you
binary.
use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
What?
畳の数を数えるのに目の数を数える
If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go.
Holy
What
shit.
is Fire Emblem Three Houses? In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth.
Byleth.
Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life, and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release. I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example.
Ooh, lucky.
Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
Yeah, you
I
missed
did the same
basically
this
nothing.
time, but with there being 3 houses
Sakurai's
and multiple
hilarious.
endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it.
Basically, they announced another
And
Fire
of course,
Emblem character.
there weren't any walkthroughs
And that's
to
it.
reference. The game has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand. Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version. As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes. Here I go.
As part of the challenge. Byleth.
So, this is our new fighter, Byleth.
Byleth. That's a...
Sadly, they're
Interesting.
lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon. The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Darth Marth!
They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs. The Sword of the Creator.
I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Ooh, that's
Byleth's
a lot of
default
bit.
weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks,
Look,
where it takes the
I'm
form
him.
of a whip.
I'm him.
They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack
Okay,
lasts
cool.
for
I
a
am on
relatively
ultra
long
low.
time.
Just want to make sure.
The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this.
Like,
It was
obviously,
pretty
it's
terrifying
interesting.
how
It's
I
some
knocked
cool
him
stuff.
into the air with that attack. And in addition,
But,
you can do awful things like this.
ooh, God.
That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right?
This just looks like a Street Fighter or regular
If Byleth
2D
does the
fighter
same
level
thing,
right now.
You'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
And you can angle up or down, which is interesting.
Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger.
Oh, he did react to the back, though. I just saw that.
And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them.
Oh. It's actually...
By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weak,
So you want to hit him with just the tip.
so it's not suited to close combat.
I don't
It
have my
won't deal
close-up
much
button.
damage,
Do I still have
and
my
it won't
close-up
launch
button?
opponents far.
Just a tip.
That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward. Or downward in this case. Next, the side special move.
That looks like a pickle.
By the
supposed to be
swing the lance like this,
whatchamacallit.
but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit. Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this. But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful. Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land. Now,
Now
for the
for
downward
the
impulse.
thing.
For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir. It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It
Fuck.
really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different.
Falcon Punch.
When readying the move, there's a super armor effect,
Oh.
which allows you to withstand an attack. Just so you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this.
That is
It's a
very
bit slower
interesting.
than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed. Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area. It won't
That's
let you
cool.
jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack. Also, you can turn around during the move.
That's
The
also
swing takes a
awesome.
while. So if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a group of opponents.
It's like, there's too many
Plus,
people here.
even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little.
It's fucking
It's as if the
Reinhardt.
quaking of the ground launches them.
Was it Meteor
By
Smash?
the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem
Oh,
series,
yeah.
because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter.
Wonder if that works the same for.
Next, we
My
have
boy.
the neutral moves. The bow you use is called Failnaught, which shares its name
I
with
love
the
that
bow
it's
from
called
the Knights of the Round
Failnaught.
Table.
You know,
It only appears in a few neutral
don't
moves.
fail. Fail no.
You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around.
He's just spinning his
It's also
bow
easy to
around.
create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow.
The longer you
First,
hold it.
the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready.
Oh.
You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button. You can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light. You can
Alright.
perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire. But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible. Once you've entered the stance, you won't be able to do anything. Which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect.
Yeah.
You could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range
Oh,
move,
you can.
letting you
can
deal
also
a sudden
flip
blow
though,
to
right?
opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon.
Yeah, Fox and Falco were
Byleth's
always
final
fucking
smash
cool.
is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version. As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together. Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are,
Oh,
as you can
that's
see,
cool.
reminiscent of the house leaders. Those of you who played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see
Spoilers.
this variation in the final smash?
It's when they fuse or some shit. I don't know. I don't play these games. Greg McMonastery.
Next, I'll introduce the
Yeah, I
stage.
guess he can cover this whole
For
thing
this
with just one
we of
character.
course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg Mach Monastery.
Which is the school, I'm guessing? I don't
This is how
fucking
Garreg
know.
Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral, all in one stage. It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four.
Just
Let
like
me
the other
introduce each of the
Fire
guests
Emblem
that
level.
appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri is the future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one.
May
There are
or may
vendors
not
on
end
either
up with
side.
one eye.
In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but
Right now, you can just
you
destroy
can
them.
break them, you see. If you do break them, the stage
I
will
thought that was a
expand to the
person.
left and right.
It was just a suit of armor. That is
I wonder
cool,
where
though.
people will buy their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper. You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop,
Yeah.
you'll come crashing back down. You've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building. And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire. And as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the
They're
characters
just
who is
K-pop
central to the
stars.
conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals.
Dude,
You'll notice there are
said
prominent
no
chandeliers
spoilers.
above the stage. It's possible to knock them down. However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though.
that's fucking hilarious.
So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down.
That's just entertaining.
Also, you can break this table. Like so. Just like the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up,
Over to the bridge.
The camera
Take it
rotates
to the
90
bridge.
degrees, creating this long area. It's
That's a
very
cool
wide
idea.
indeed.
I like the way they do it. Random Pegasus guard? What the fuck?
It's similar to the Bridge of Elden stage. The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence. They belong to the Leicester Alliance. Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of
I
members.
feel like Lawrence is a
and Claude is
douchebag.
the sharpest of the
Anybody
bunch.
else get that? You get that
Incidentally,
feeling a
both
little
Claude
bit?
and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for
Hey,
each new
I
entry,
mean,
you're bound to
allegedly
get a
he's
name
the
over.
douchebag.
naming
Allegedly.
process must
No
be tough.
libel. Libel?
Hey,
Which one's
It looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training.
slander? Is slander the one when
As
you
for
say
the
it out
bridge's
loud?
design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen.
You know his dad has money too. I mean, look at that
You could
shiny
also say it's
ass
a place where
school
the Failnaught
uniform.
really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly. The last area is the cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flame might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that. This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged.
Nope, wrong
It'll
button.
cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes.
It'd be this.
Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here
Yoka.
we go, Joker. Joker!
God damn it.
And Hero! Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor here. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on.
Including items.
It's not going to land that easily. Uh-oh.
Oh
this
no,
is bad.
Pokeball!
Shenanigans. I better keep my distance. I'll use this chance to attack. Got him.
Ooh,
That's
dangerous!
scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. Perfect shielded that, huh? Good one.
I like he's taking advantage of the.
This, like
character
this,
being down.
like so.
Nope, that
No
didn't work.
anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected.
Ooh, lots of stuff.
Good. There's Mom.
There's Mom.
You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not.
Oh, Smash Ball. Gonna use that Smash Ball.
I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball.
Yes.
They got it. But I mustn't give up. I can't waste this chance.
Nice.
There's another Smash Ball. Yes, got it. Now, what are you charging up for? There's still more. Whack.
And oh.
Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him. I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
The end. Song collection. A lot.
Now, about the additional music. Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme
cool.
in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board.
Yay, everybody loves these.
It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters. Sothis is Legend class. Also,
I don't
there's
have
a
many
new
of
classic
those.
mode route, a Heroic Legacy, which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
Wait, I want to know. Tell me now. Don't be like.
Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
I forgot that they add these every time. Please be one of them be Dante, so it pisses people off. Oh no, it's gonna just be Fire Emblem characters. Oh wait, no. Oh shit! That's fucking cool! Oh man! This is where people are like, oh, we don't get the characters. I'm gonna buy a rabbit hat right now. I'm gonna go buy a rabbit hat right now. Yeah! Ha! MegaMan.exe. I remember that show. I never played the game. Lou! Holy shit! That's fucking awesome! Oh my god! I'm gonna just grab my Switch right now and make some purchases. I know, but I mean the fact that we got Sans as a costume and now him. I just love that because his gun is the hand and everything. Ugh. Ah. Beautiful.
This time, we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added.
Yeah.
It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation. I hope you enjoy these as well. After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it.
So what they do is they end up making the character. People
And now,
make the character as
onto the
close as they
amiibo.
can. Oh. Oh yeah, we already knew about these. They're adorable.
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it? Dark Samus and Richter are planned for release on Friday, January 17th.
Time for some Smash Brothers.
はい、そして今回
And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete.
But
The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Byleth. From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added.
だけれども元々が
But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different.
oh, they're not
Instead,
available
we
yet.
try
Duh.
to offer you a whole new style of play.
Won't be available until the whole thing comes out. I didn't think about that.
そして
As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well,
こちら
have a
をご
look.
覧ください
Yes! You're gonna announce Fighter Pack 2, aren't you? Yeah! Yeah! Oh, shit! Well, that makes sense, because we got...
Looks like there will be one more fighter than last time.
I got
For
chills.
this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for
On the
pre-purchase
28th.
on the date shown, so please keep an eye out. And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed. Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it.
Aw, see, I
Furthermore,
like
the
him.
new additions have already been decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them.
ですがまあ
But I still hope you'll look forward to it.
なおファイ
We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have.
This is Dante. Now.
It's a Mii fighter
Oh,
costume for Mii
shit.
Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from the
That's
Legend of
cool.
Zelda Breath of the Wild. This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
I get that reference. Lastly, one more thing.
スマブラスペシャルは
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling fighting game in the world. Personally, I don't know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world.
海外でファイティングですね今までストリート
Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate.
スト2といえば
There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if
I love
that's
he's just
accounted
like,
for.
my
Also,
game is
I
not
don't know
that
if
good.
that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1.
ということらしいですですが
Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game.
ファイティングの
I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration, of gaming or
Celebration of
something else
gaming.
entirely.
Aw.
まあそもそもこの
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters.
非常に感慨深いものを覚えています第一シーズンの終わ
The
りで
first Fighters Pass just wrapped up,
がやっぱり
but it was decided that there would be more DLC,
これからも休みは
which means no breaks for me.
思っています
God damn it, Sakurai.
I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue.
This
to
man
support
needs
me.
a fucking vacation.
それでは以上です
That's it.
お疲れ様でした
Thank you.
Yeah. Alright, that's fucking awesome. I love it. Boom, boom. Where's my face? Face cam? I'll go face cam for a little bit. Whoa! Hey, look, you can see the chat. Hi, chat. It's the only way I can show chat right now. That was awesome. I'm excited for all the new things coming. Yeah, just because he says thanks for watching. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining. So many me's. Yes, it was a lot of you, Lou. Well, hey, not many people know that we switched. I got a lot to learn with this. But yeah, I'm 100% day one buying. 100% day one buying that the new Smash Pass. I'm gonna sit back a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, cool. I'm gonna go to work now. Thank you for joining. Go inside and play video games. Or if you're like me and Lou, go back to work. All right, bye.